Hello everyone, welcome to ShinyCast bonus with William and HAL. I did not tell James or Chris about this at all.
Shh, don't tell them.
James is gonna scroll down YouTube one day and see this new video on ShinyCast, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Did I do a commentary?
What's he gonna do, complain that I'm giving you guys more content?
Exactly.
So if you guys listen to, not the one that just went up recently, but the one before that where we had Hal on, well, I just said it right there. We had him on a previous episode, if you remember him.
Yep, I was on a previous episode.
It's the one where we talked about the Muppets. You're never gonna guess what we're talking about today.
We're talking about a movie featuring not Sesame Street.
Technically...
Well, yeah, okay. Hey, spoilers. No spoilers.
I did a little bit ago. Yeah, I am stuttering once more. Oh no.
Yeah.
We're already off to a bad start. Okay, so a little bit ago, after the episode with how it went up, I went on the community page and did a poll asking if you guys would be more interested in more movie commentaries type stuff, and it seemed like most everyone was. So I asked Hal to sit in with me and do a commentary on the original 1979 Muppet movie.
Yeah, this is a great movie.
If you have Disney Plus, it's available on there. And to get into that, to sync this up, if you have Disney Plus, 19 seconds in, pause it there. This will be after the Jim Henson Company logo appears and fades to black. If you have it on DVD or VHS or Blu-ray, it might be a little different, but I know that the current Blu-ray I have also has the same logo, so that should work. I do know that also has that Disney intermission feature. I don't know if you can turn that off or not. So that might make things a little complicated, but basically just try to sync up the best you can 19 seconds into the movie for us after the opening logos, right before it actually fades into where you see the studio lot first show up.
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess with that being said, let's just get right into it. And, yeah. So, 3, 2, 1, go. That's a nice 2 seconds of no sound.
Zawardo. Get it?
It's an RKO picture.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm excited.
And right off the bat, you can already see there are actual Muppets in the movie right away in the human world.
Yeah.
Which is something that, the 2011 film didn't really do.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a shame.
I think Most Wanted did that better, because they actually did have more Muppets all around.
Exactly, yeah. You always gotta have the Muppets, as much as you can. I mean, it's the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
I love Statler and Waldorf. The older I get, the more I love them.
You know that Jim probably had a lot of fun. Jim was Waldorf, right?
I think he was Statler. No, yeah, he was Waldorf.
Yeah, because Waldorf's the shorter one, Statler's the taller one. Who is Statler?
Statler is the angrier looking one. Waldorf is the one with the mustache. Who plays him? That's Richard Hunt, the guy who does Scooter.
Oh, so it's Kermit and Scooter making fun of them. Nice.
Exactly. Animal, please. It's the current year.
It's just normally not that big of a fan of framing devices like this, because why can't we just start the movie? But I think they also kind of need to do that for this one too, because that's how you get all the extended Muppet cast in and all the extra mayhem.
Exactly. Yeah, it's they're cheating essentially. So they can be like, hey, we got every Muppet in here. Oh, Sam the Eagle.
Do Wayne and Wanda fall off a cliff?
Maybe.
It's so weird after watching some of the early episodes now that they're on Disney Plus, just seeing that old Miss Piggy design up to the newer, better one.
Exactly. Yeah, it is weird. I've always been weirded out by like the early designs of Miss Piggy, because it's like she has just like these dead eyes, and it's just very weird.
You can tell they probably didn't intend for her to be a main character when they first made the puppet.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I remember watching like the first episode, and like even like her voice was inconsistent. Like some sketches they had Richard Hunt doing the voice, and some sketches they had Frank Oz doing the voice. So it was very strange. So, but like, you know, once they got the movies, it seems like they've pretty much figured out who Miss Piggy is as a character.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's when they figure out everybody by that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, here's Robin. He's a good example, because he wasn't very prominent in season 1 at all, but then
right.
I haven't really seen much of the later seasons yet, but I feel like he definitely becomes more of a thing there.
Right, exactly, yeah. Sir Lugrade and Martin Starger. Starger? Did I say that right? A Jim Henson production.
Hi, who's Jim?
The Muppet Movie.
And we open up with a rainbow going right into Rainbow Connection.
Exactly.
Paul Williams was like the first celebrity I actually recognized immediately when I was watching season 1.
Yeah.
Because I know him from Phantom of the Paradise.
You know he's in Baby Driver? Like, he shows up in Baby Driver, and I'm like, that's Paul Williams.
Huh.
Yeah.
That makes sense that he would show up in that movie, honestly.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it was still just like, whoa.
That feels fitting for him.
Yeah. What if the Muppets were in Baby Driver? Now that's a movie.
Just put the Muppets in everything.
Exactly. I've been saying that for years.
Like, I made this point on Twitter a couple of times, but like, just imagine an actual monster movie with effects done by Jim Henson Company. We kind of get that. We kind of get that the director's cut ending of Little Shop of Horrors, but just imagine a full-on movie.
Yeah.
Like with like costumes and effects like in dinosaurs.
Yeah. Someday.
Okay, so we should probably talk about Rainbow Connection, because that's what's happening right now.
Exactly. This is obviously one of the most famous Muppet songs of all time.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not going to be one of those contrarian fans of something where it's just like, oh, it's this popular thing, part of this franchise. I don't think it's that great. No, I think Rainbow Connection is an amazing song. It's great, you know.
Yeah. It's probably not my favorite song from the movie, but it's definitely a great song and a good introduction.
Yeah, no, it's not my favorite song. It's not my favorite Muppet song. It's not my most favorite Muppet song. It's not even my most favorite in this movie. But I think it's a really great movie. I think it's a really great song. So
it's a good introduction to who Kermit really is as a character too.
Yeah, and it's just a nice song to listen to. Like, I know the Muppets are known for being like, you know, crazy and full of mayhem, but it's nice to know, like, that they can also make something, like, just soothing and nice, like this song.
Also, you got her... I'm probably going to bring this up later on, but one thing that doesn't really get talked about a whole lot with the Muppets and everything is the set design.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to figure, like, the sets, those things are, like, 5-6 feet up in the air, probably, because there has to be someone underneath them the whole time.
Yeah, and everything looks so natural, too.
Like, Jim, I think, is like actually like a bit underwater right now at this point.
He is underwater. I've seen like the technical layout of like how they did this. Like, he's like literally in a box like underwater. It's like, it's insane. And you can always tell like and I like how like when you look at like Kermit's hand like on the banjo and like how like kind of mechanical it looks. And then you look here, and like his hand is like moving a lot more naturally. I even as a kid, like I remember thinking like, wow, that's really cool. Like that's just really cool editing wise. Just thinking about like how it's like you're changing between different like puppets.
Yeah.
And it's just really interesting to think about. Like, even if it does look fake, like you're still thinking about it as like, wow, this looks really cool.
Oh, like the set here is like, this looks like an actual swamp.
Yeah, no, it looks...
This is a good set.
Exactly. I think it's part of a real swamp. I
wouldn't be surprised.
No, yeah, I would not be surprised either. I mean, the things they did for this movie was revolutionary.
Even other sets, like, even like back in Muppet Show, like the Muppet Studio backstage, like there's multiple levels in there, and you gotta figure, there has to be room for the actors to move around in there, like... Yeah, that's something I don't think it's talked about a whole lot, because I was just thinking about that one day, like, These guys have to like move around. They're like standing up. These sets have to be like 5, 6, 7 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
And they're holding these puppets up the whole time.
It's insane. Puppeteers, man.
Okay, which cameo is this again?
This is Dom DeLuise.
Okay.
He's,
yeah.
That guy
he's very prolific.
Yeah.
He's a very prolific voice actor.
Very, yeah.
Like, I think the one I know him the most from is Dexter's Lab, Dee Dee's Imaginary Friend.
Yeah, when I think Dom DeLuise, again, I think the Muppet movie, actually, because this is the first movie I ever saw him in, so... And it's funny how he just, like, kind of shows up in this scene. He's just like, yeah, I'm a Hollywood agent. Alligators? It's just like, what the hell is he doing in a swamp down in the south of America? It's like...
I feel like I can make that point for like a lot of the cameos in this movie, though.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
that makes it funnier. I get
true.
It makes it funnier. It's just like funny to think about, like, what's a Hollywood agent doing in the swamps? It's like...
No, that's
what
fitting.
Isn't he doing? Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's like there's like the carnival scene later on that's just there to have the cameos by like Bob Hope and Richard Pryor.
Exactly. Yeah. You're just like, aha.
You could say there's a lot of variety in the movie.
Very.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey. Hey, that's the logo from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I just one thing I did want to say with Rainbow Connection, like that's probably like one of the most iconic Muppet moments of all time, though, because they bring that back all the time.
They do. Yeah, they're proud of that moment. So, like,
yeah,
of course.
Because
why wouldn't you?
Like in 2011, they actually referenced it twice when they meet up with Fozzie for the first time in Reno.
Yeah,
they're playing the parody of it, and
exactly.
then during the actual telethon, they're playing it for real. And in the 2016 Muppets TV show that was like the Office parody, Kermit actually does perform Rainbow Connection in one of the episodes.
I used to think that was a real alligator. Like, I know it's a puppet. Like, now
it's
I know it's a puppet.
Realistic puppet.
It's a very... Because, like, you know, when I think puppets, I think something that looks like Kermit. I think, like, oh, so, like, when I was a kid and I saw that, I'm just like, is that a real alligator? It's like, no, it's a puppet, but it still freaked me out as a kid. I'm just like,
Especially because there are, like, actual Muppet alligator puppets previously.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, speaking of puppets...
Oh, yeah, people love this. Puppets. Yeah, people love this part.
Yeah, well, this was a big deal. Like, you know, you never saw Kermit's legs.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, seeing him ride a bike, like, virtually looking like it's on his own, like, that was, you know, huge. So, like, to see that, like, that's pretty cool. Doc Hopper's frog legs.
Yeah, I'm surprised at, like, the continuity on, like, the Muppet stuff, too, because, like, we mentioned this before, like, that Very Merry Muppet Christmas movie. They referenced Doc Hopper in there.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen that, so, like, it's been a while. The only thing I do remember is, like, well, the infamous thing about, like, how the Twin Towers are in the alternate universe.
Yeah.
As if to suggest that Kermit did 9/11. That's a classic.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's dead. I'll allow it. That's a good joke. I like it.
Jim just gets to tell all his best one-liners before Fozzie does it.
Exactly. Yeah, well, he's coming up, so like he's got to get him out while he can. My trash.
Dude, that would have been
Cameo
good place for an Oscar. That would have been good to camp for Oscar too.
Exactly. No, we'll save him for Great Muppet Caper. There's another cameo, James Coburn. For all you youngins out there, he did the voice of Water Noose in Monsters, Inc. Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that I wanted to point out with the original Muppet Show, because all the celebrities in there are celebrities from like the late 70s, early 80s, and the 60s. Yeah. So, like, a lot of people might be going back to, like, not really knowing who they are, which I think can be both a good and bad thing.
Yeah.
The bad thing is, like, you're not going to immediately know a lot of them, especially in Season 1. Like, later on, you're going to get names like Alice Cooper, Harry Belafonte.
Yeah.
Which people that I'm sure you're going to know more.
Yeah, I'm sure, like some people may not know him immediately, but I'm sure like they'll be like, oh, I've heard that name in passing.
Yeah.
So like
on the other hand, then the good thing about it though is that if you see a celebrity you like, well, now you're interested in them, and you might go back and see what they did previously, so it can make you a fan of something you never knew about before.
Yeah, there's Madeline Kahn, star of Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, and Telly Savalas, Blofeld, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Young Frankenstein because Mel Brooks does show up later.
He does, yeah. So like, yeah.
And he's basically doing Dr. Frankenstein.
Exactly. I mean, I only know these people because I know of this movie.
And it's Paul Williams.
Here he comes. Yeah, boy, here he comes.
It's the man himself.
Waka waka. I don't care. I don't care what Statler and Waldorf say. I find Fuzzy funny.
He was wearing glasses under his glasses.
He was wearing glasses under his glasses. That's a classic. Only in America.
You know, it must be impressive too whenever they actually get to show the legs of the Muppets too.
Exactly. I mean, they have the budget to do it, so they're going to do it as much as they can.
Yeah. It's weird to see Rolf do it though, because like he's a big guy, and like you never really get that impression when he's just sitting down. Yeah,
no, there's some Muppets where like, yeah, it is kind of weird if you were to show their legs. Rolf is definitely one of them. Fozzie works, but yeah, if I saw Rolf with legs, that'd be a little weird.
Because like Diamond Select has like the Muppet line of action figures, and they do have Rolf in that, and you get to like the whole body, and it's like I didn't know he was that big.
Yeah, no, he's a pretty wide puppet.
Rolf also is one of the older ones though, because he's about the same age as Kermit.
Right. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right. Good for Kermit for like, you know, coming up to this, you know, stranger, just being like, hey, let me help this guy out.
Hey, Doc, you know that new sound you've been looking for? Well, listen to this.
Exactly. Nice. Oh, Doc Hopper.
Oh, no.
Oh, no,
he has
Doc.
a leg fetish.
I know. We got a real Tarantino over here.
Oh, no. He's the one that's been writing those Teen Titans Go episodes.
Oh. No wonder he's the villain.
You know, that curtain is just ropes. I just noticed.
Yeah. There's Frank Oz holding Fozzie.
Oh, he must have enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, it took me a while to realize that Fozzie bears name Fozzie, Frank Oz.
Ah. That's probably how they did it. That's probably how they came up with it. Kermit died. Again.
Hey, Paul!
Kermit the Frog and Matt Damon doing their own stunts. Jeez, what a costume change.
Pip, pip, the doodly-doo.
Drinks on the house. One of my all-time favorite gags. It's the simple ones that get me.
That's all you need sometimes.
So does that mean that a bartender's beard was fake? Because, like, Fozzie pulled that off with ease. Like, does that mean that it was fake?
I like to imagine he probably just had that on him the whole time.
Probably, yeah. He's just like, you know what? I'm going to dress like the bartender at some point tonight.
You never know when you're going to need it.
That sounds like something Fozzie would do. Studebaker.
And we're moving right along on to the next scene.
On to the next scene. Well, almost. We still gotta meet with the villain. Can I just say, I always thought Doc Hopper was a pretty great villain. That's the one thing these Muppet movies, I feel like, don't ever get talked about, is like the villains in Muppet movies can be really funny. And Doc Hopper is probably one of the funniest. I mean, just how random he is. He's this restaurant owner, like this restaurant tycoon for like fried frog legs.
Like anytime they give a villain a southern accent, it always works.
Yeah, exactly. Fozzie, how did you not see that in the road?
It's like a free personality ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm a businessman with a proposition.
I like how Kermit just didn't have his door locked.
Yeah. What's up with that? I mean, 70s cars. Is this considered cultural appropriation to Kermit?
I think he's too scared to make that claim.
Probably, yeah. So, did it just so happen that, Doc Hopper owns this store with all these TVs, or was it just like a giant coincidence that Fozzie like crashed into that area and they ended up in front of like a TV station or like a TV selling place, and Doc Hopper's like, "Oh, sweet. I can play my pre-recorded commercial I just so happen to have here."
He's rich. He probably just paid for it. I don't know.
Probably. That commercial sucked. I would not. Well, maybe I would go to that restaurant just out of irony because of how bad the commercial was.
That's also a restaurant that would only ever be in like the southeast.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That and
you're not getting a frog leg restaurant in Pennsylvania.
No, you're not in Massachusetts either.
$500.
I'll take $500. Put me in the commercial. I'll do it in a bear suit and a frog suit.
While wearing a salmon suit.
While wearing a salmon suit. Jeez, Fozzie, you're such a shitty driver. Like, I get it, he's the villain, but still.
I liked how the frog suit in that commercial just looked so terrible, knowing damn well that the Jim Henson Company could have easily made a better looking one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I just love that, like, Doc Hopper's plan is that he needs Kermit to be his mascot, but then he also wants to take Kermit for his legs, too. That's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. That's like saying, like, the burgers at McDonald's are made from Ronald McDonald.
Well, there's like the sun-kissed tuna.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
His whole shtick is he wants to be turned into the food.
Yeah.
And here we go. Right along.
Here we go. This one's my favorite song. This one's my favorite song out of the whole movie, I should say.
Yeah.
It's a very catchy song. It's great to play on road trips.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite too at this point.
Yeah.
There was recently that video that went up of Fozzie and Kermit singing the song to promote Muppets Now or something, I believe. And do we want to talk about Matt Vogel's Kermit?
Yeah, I guess it's
I'm gonna say, for his singing voice, I think is fine. Like, when he did this song singing it, like, okay, that's passing, that works. It's just his speaking voice just doesn't fit.
Yeah, no. I mean, when he plays, like, Constantine, who's supposed to sound, like, not like Kermit, and then he ends up playing Kermit. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from. Like, they're trying to go for, like, it feels like they're trying to go for, like, an early version of Kermit. Like, before Jim Henson found his voice for Kermit, for like the Kermit voice that we know. Like, it sounds like that's what they're kind of going for.
But why would you want to go for that?
Exactly.
The question.
It's like, why would you want to go for that?
Also, they have no idea where they're going.
Yeah. Fozzie, going the wrong way. A Studebaker. Hey, ready for another cameo?
Hey,
Hey!
It's a
wild big bird. He's on his way in the movie Follow That Bird. Ah. Sucks to be you.
that would never go anywhere.
Yeah. Nah. You don't, you fucking liar.
I know Kermit shows up in Sesame Street every now and then. Do any of the other main Muppets show up?
Ah, man. Maybe in like an episode that like I've never seen, but like I don't think so. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, you'd think they would have done that early on, but like I think Kermit's the only bridge between the two.
I mean, granted, most of the main Muppets were also made just for the show, so it would have had to have been later on if they did.
Exactly. I mean, there is that Muppet Christmas special where they all show up, but like that's not really a Sesame Street episode. So, but like that is like a time when like they all showed up in like the same thing.
It's fun in that though, when you just see Bert and Ernie just walk up to the doctor guy from Fraggle Rock. What's his name again?
Doc.
Just Doc?
Yeah, just Doc.
Just shows up to Doc. Hey, Doc Hopper. Goes up to Doc and like just start counting and like, this is what we call small talk.
Exactly. Yeah. Such a good joke.
I like how Doc Hopper is just waiting behind that sign, knowing they'd be there eventually.
Yeah, he's just full of coincidences, isn't he?
I imagine he was just there for a couple of days, just waiting. Like, come on, they gotta pass eventually.
Exactly.
Fozzie's just that incompetent.
Yeah. Yeah, how big is his franchise? Like, where are they? We're like, obviously, frog legs seem like a southern dish.
Yeah, like, honestly, I think the only place I ever had frog's legs of all things was a Chinese buffet.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking, like, how popular is this franchise? Like, fried frog legs? Like, is that really something that could, like, turn into something that would rival, like, McDonald's?
Like, you'd get that, like, Louisiana. You'd get that in, like, maybe Florida.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Virginia or Georgia.
Maybe.
Oklahoma, but you're not going anywhere past there.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, your status southeast.
Back when people didn't have phones, they had to use maps. And the wheels were, like, bigger than your head. Jeez, Kermit's just almost dying in every scene in this movie.
He almost met God. Now
he did.
Now he needs to go into God's house to ask for directions.
Exactly. Correspondence course. What a dated joke.
That's the thing you gotta remember. Like, the Muppets are old.
They are old. I mean, like, correspondence course. That's like, if it was made now, like, obviously he'd say, like, online, and you'd be like, oh, I get that joke. But, like, as a kid, I'm just like, what the hell is a correspondence course?
Like, Kermit was made in, like, what, the 40s, the 50s, technically?
Well, if we're counting, like, Wilkins Coffee, like, the skeletal plan for Kermit was made in the 50s. So, yeah, he's super old at this point. Still relevant, though.
Yeah.
Up there with Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny.
That brings up a point that I wanted to ask you at one point. Would you consider the Muppets a form of animation?
Kind of. Because, like, it's weird because, like, the Dark Crystal on Letterboxd is, like, one of the genres it's listed as is animation. And it's like, does that count? Because, like, it's not...
Yeah, that's the thing that's always been... Because, like, I see the argument, and in a way, I kind of agree. Because if you just look at what the definition of animation would be, it's just giving something that normally would not movement, animating it. So, I mean, in a way, it would.
Yeah, I mean, if we count, like, stop motion animation, if we count stop motion as animation, that's not drawn. That's like physical, objects moving. So
where I have like where I disagree is a matter of you're also not filming it the same way you would any other form of animation, because even stop motion is still taking individual pictures and animating it that way like you would a cartoon, whether digital or hand drawn.
Yeah,
with these you're filming it the same way you're doing live action.
Exactly. Yeah, you're filming it the same as live action. So that's kind of weird.
That's where they get me there.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm leaning more towards I wouldn't classify it as animation, but if someone said they would, I wouldn't tell them they're wrong, because like I see the point.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a bit of both. Yeah. Exactly. Should be talking about Electric Mayhem, man.
Yeah, it's funny you meet them in a church.
Exactly. Well, it's an abandoned church, so I've always wondered.
You came to find God. You found Dr. Teeth.
Exactly. I always wondered, did they ever make like an album by themselves? They should do that. They should have like an Electric Mayhem album. I'd buy it.
There's some Muppet music on Spotify that I know, but mostly Christmas music.
Right. I want something that's just exclusively Electric Mayhem. Oh, he's reading the script. Epic fourth wall break. Yeah, the fourth wall breaking in any Muppet movie is better than anything in Deadpool. He really nails the Fozzie voice.
We forgot our lines.
Which am us? I forgot we were in this movie.
So you got Dr. P, Floyd, Janice, Zoot, and Animal.
And then there's a sixth guy they added in later seasons of The Muppet Show, and he shows up in Great Muppet Caper. I forget his name, but he plays the trumpet. I know that.
It's fun because Animal's probably like the one in terms of the Electric Mayhem who probably gets like the least to do usually, but he's one of the most well-known Muppets and one of the main mascots, really.
Exactly, yeah. Another song. This song's really good, too.
Wait a minute, Scooter, I thought your uncle owned this theater.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add to this. This is just a really good song. I'll find myself...
Well, they better have good music. They're the band.
Exactly. Well, I'll just find myself, like, humming this just, like, randomly, and I'll just be like, can you picture that?
Electric Mayhem's just always fun whenever they come up and do anything.
Exactly. That church is going to fall over. It's just beating so hard. It doesn't, but that'd be really funny if it did. But I don't think that was in the budget. Can't just destroy a church.
Even a fake one, apparently.
Even a fake, yeah.
It's like, to get into spoilers towards the end of the movie with Animal and Beaker... Like, you know that they're not going to have them actually trash the whole building, because I don't know how they did the effect. I'd imagine that it's probably still like the normal-sized puppet, just in a miniature. They just overlaid, probably.
Probably.
But,
I'll have to see it again, and I can sometimes tell.
We will see it.
You can sometimes tell, like, when you actually see the effect. At this time of year, at this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
I like how Kermit and Fozzie just asleep during this whole thing.
I know.
How do they sleep during this?
I mean, they've been driving for God knows how long. So, to be fair, I guess. I guess you could sleep through anything when you've driven for that long.
You know, Dr. Teeth just has such a cooler design, too.
Exactly. I drive that. Maybe I wouldn't, but...
they'll drive it until they get caught.
Exactly.
Immediately.
You didn't show up just for this scene.
You're just looking at them, though. It's like, yeah, I think there's like a lot of parts to the puppets too.
Exactly.
Because like the eyes, especially.
Yeah.
Because like you see, like even on Dr. Teeth, he had like his eyes full sometimes, and then like half closed normally.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I think there's like an actual mechanism in there probably to do that. Fozzie can wiggle his ears
too, which is pretty funny. They got caught immediately. So that whole song was kind of pointless. It was a banger, but it was kind of pointless.
I mean, you wouldn't have it any other way.
No, of course. Yeah, obviously.
So you had a point.
Man, how did they fall for that?
They're not very bright.
No, I guess not.
Here
we go. Here we go. Best Muppet ever. I'm a gonzo boy. That's what I am.
It's funny because like in 2011, he's actually like the owner of like a toilet company.
Yeah, that's called continuity, kids.
Like the weirdest thing to keep in continuity.
They keep Gonzo's jobs. Continuity. Now, how did that happen?
Boing.
Yeah.
So wait, who's driving on the wrong side of the road though? Because this was technically filmed in London, wasn't it?
No, it was filmed in America.
Oh, okay. Well, I know the actual Muppet Show is filmed in London.
Yeah, the Muppet Show is filmed in London, but because this is a cross-country movie that takes place in the United States, I imagine they would have filmed a lot more in the United States.
Okay. Okay, so Gonzo just doesn't know how to drive then.
Well, that's to be expected. That seems like within his character. Maybe Gonzo wants to go to Bollywood. He wants to be in Bahubali. It's been a while. Cameo time.
Yeah, Sweetums is a good cameo.
Yeah. Sweetums. Yeah. Classic character. And there's... Oh, shoot. I already forgot his name. Milton Berle.
Okay.
Madman Mooney. Star of It's Mad, 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 Mad World. There you go. Classic movie. And he was also in an episode of The Muppet Show.
Okay. God, just imagine if we did a commentary on Mad, 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 Mad World. That's a 3-hour movie, but you know.
Someday, but like not today.
So like I have the Blu-ray of that, and like they kept in like the overture at the beginning.
Oh, did they?
So it's just like there's just for like 3 minutes a blank screen with just the music playing until you get to like the animated logos.
Yeah, I just got it on Blu-ray too. I own it on VHS. It's like a double VHS because it's on 2 videotapes. So like they had an intermission.
That's a long movie.
Yeah, so exactly.
Like, I wonder. I just wonder what like the mechanisms for Sweetums is because like how because that's a costume that you're wearing and then the head just like has like animatronics probably, right?
It has to be. I mean, like that's a big mouth he's got to open and close.
And like the eyes.
Yeah, the eyes too.
Like just wondering how this all works.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an adult and like even to this day there's some things I'm just like I don't know how they did it and maybe it's best I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to buy a car for $11.95. I like how he doesn't even question. He's like, well, I guess I'm selling a car for $11.95.
Damn, everything was so much cheaper in the 70s.
Yeah. That's a nice car. I'd drive it.
Wait for me!
Why don't they stop for him? Like, he's not that far behind them. I guess maybe because he wouldn't fit in the car. And, like, they wanted to keep this joke going.
Not again!
Damn. Feel bad for my man, Sweetums.
And here's the carnival that's mostly just for cameos.
Exactly. You know, I just noticed that's their car. Like, like for years I've seen this movie. I've never noticed, like, their car was, like, right there. They just park it, like, right there. In the middle of the carnival.
That's the way they do it.
That's the way they do it. Hey, hello, Elliot Gould. I'm going to try and... I'm really, really calling out all these cameos. I'm doing my best here. So this is a beauty pageant. Who's the next Muppet to appear? I wonder who it is.
Definitely gotta be Beaker.
Yeah. Seems
definitely Swedish Chef.
Yeah. Seems like something they'd show up in. Yay, generic 70s ladies. Gonzo, don't be weird. There's Edgar Bergen, another cameo.
And they call it out directly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's calling out to us, so it's only fair.
Because he was an inspiration for Jim, right?
Yeah, so I remember hearing a story like, yeah, he was a big inspiration for Jim. He actually died before the movie was even completed.
Aww.
So, like, yeah, that was like I think this movie was, like, made in his memory, I think, too.
And it's also fun because you have, like, the old school of puppetry and then the new school with the Muppets.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bridge.
And the Kanaka should be a guest star on Scrubs.
Exactly, yeah. Not now, Fozzie, I'm horny. What? She's looking at that frog!
Sex. It's just so fun just how Kermit's face is just so malleable. They can just get all those expressions out of it by just moving his hand.
Oh, it's so good. All right, another song. I'm not a fan of this song. I'm not a fan of this moment in the entire movie. This is probably my least favorite part of the movie because it feels like the movie just kind of like just comes to a halt for this song, and because it just feels weird.
I feel like this probably isn't the first time Piggy's done something like this, and we know for a fact it's definitely not the last time she'll do something like this.
Yeah, in fact, I noticed like all three of the original Muppet movies, this, Great Muppet Caper, and Muppets Take Manhattan, all three of them have like a Piggy dream sequence singing, and surprise, surprise, they all seem kind of out of place in those movies.
I like to imagine that Jason's on the water with Kermit right now.
Yeah, he's just gonna come out like, "Rah!" Yeah, if you turn the camera to the right, it's the end of Friday the 13th.
I like how Kermit the puppet's like actually just soaked in there too.
Yeah, he's drowning. He's dead. One of the things that's like I'm just still not a fan of this part. I don't know, it comes out of nowhere. When it's over, like nobody ever really talks about it ever again. And I don't know, Frank Oz just sounds like he's really struggling with the voice. Apparently, originally, Johnny Mathis, I think, was supposed to sing this song. Like, it was supposed to be like a voice of God kind of song where, like, you just hear a different person's voice, like Phil Collins and Tarzan.
So, like, it'd be happening just in Piggy's head then, okay.
Yeah, but then they decided to go with Frank Oz singing as Miss Piggy because
Kermit has sex.
Jim Henson and crew like just found it funnier hearing Frank Oz just sing like this. And I guess it was funny for them. I never found it funny, but, you know, whatever. Like, yeah, I could see why some people would find it funny. I don't know. I've never been a fan of this song. And
this isn't the last time we'd have a wedding joke either.
Exactly. Well, there's plenty of wedding jokes in the Muppets.
Because they do, like, that's the whole point of Takes Manhattan.
Exactly.
It happens again in Most Wanted.
Yeah. So, in canon, in this movie's universe, Piggy and Kermit have never met, and, like, all of a sudden Piggy's just like, oh, I love you. It's kind of weird. Gonzo.
I mean, it fits Piggy that she would just fall in love immediately at first sight.
Exactly.
It's a movie. And technically this is a Disney movie now, so...
Yeah, so I guess it's on brand.
The first one Disney actually made was the Wizard of Oz one, but technically they produced two of Carol and Treasure Island, right?
Yeah, they did produce it. That's why at the beginning it says, like, Walt Disney Pictures Presents. So...
And here we have Bob Hope, right?
Bob Hope.
Big legend there.
What ice cream vendor has Dragonfly Ripple as a flavor, just on hand?
Bob Hope.
You know what?
And this is Richard Pryor, correct?
Richard Pryor. Are chickens colorblind?
I don't know. But Love is definitely blind.
Yeah.
But she's not popular yet.
Yeah. She's not even a thing yet.
Is she even alive?
I don't know. Probably not. Gonzo and getting into his shenanigans.
Oh no, they're holding a Confederate flag.
Oh no!
Fucking racists. Can we get a Muppet movie where they're fighting the Nazis? That'd be great.
Yeah, so they can make up for that.
Miss Piggy just goes up to Hitler and goes, "Hiya!" And just karate chops him off like the Eiffel Tower or something.
Guten Himmel. So,
Piggy could solo the Nazis. Let's be real here.
Of course. So Kermit is saying that he invited Piggy to get ice cream, but not to go to Hollywood, and Piggy thought he meant to go to Hollywood, but then he's like, "No, I meant to go to ice cream." But he's been asking like the most random freaking people to go with them to Hollywood. Like, why not ask Piggy, who clearly, just won a beauty pageant, so clearly she loves the show business.
He doesn't want to be horny all the time.
I guess not. He's trying to think more maturely.
He's trying to think with his head instead of his head.
Exactly. Gonzo, if you fly up higher, you can end up with your family. Remember, he's an alien. Muppets from Space confirmed.
If he goes up higher, he can get a new set.
Exactly.
Oh, wow! Look, it's the other lot! Hey, they're filming a Mary Poppins remake! Oh, it got canceled.
How did they find them? They're really good at finding them. Like, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, they're just moving right along.
I guess so. We need a scene of Max and Doc just singing, moving right along.
Really badly.
Really badly.
Off-key.
Freaky billboard.
Well, remember when billboards just had actual pie in them?
Yeah, the good old days. The glory days when billboards had real pies.
Kaboink.
That could just launch and foil the bad guys. Oh, Max, don't eat it. You don't know where it's
delicious.
Been. Ugh.
You can hear it moving right along in the score there, too, for a little bit.
Yeah. Ah, now we're getting somewhere.
Oh!
Sweetums. Current year, man. Yeah, show him some love for my boy Fozzie. And Gonzo.
I'm going to use that line.
Yeah.
What'd you do? I assumed the awesome responsibility of command. You sat behind a desk. Yeah, and?
The awesome responsibility of command. Hey, that's his word.
You know, like how the way they got the puppet for Gonzo, that he was just a generic extra Muppet they had, and they just handed it to Dave Gould, right?
Dave Gould, yeah.
Yeah, they just handed it to him, here, this can be Gonzo. Okay. And Star Wars born.
An icon was born. So where are Fozzie, Gonzo, and the chicken? Like, are they just, like, waiting in the car?
I don't know, they're probably just, like, at the bar or something.
Yeah, they don't show up until, like, a couple of scenes later. Like, there's a good chunk there. There's a good chunk of this movie now where, like, they're just not in it. Hey, guess what time it is? Oh, it's another cameo time. Let's get another cameo time.
White or...
There he is.
There he is.
Star of Godzilla King of the Monsters, 1956. Just kidding.
Look at those shorts.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that a... I've never been on a wait staff. Is that a normal thing to wear as a waiter?
Maybe it's like a thing that Steve Martin used to do.
I guess so. Has Steve Martin always been old? Because, like, I feel like that guy's just always been old. You know? He's just always had grayish hair. I don't think I've ever seen him with, like, not gray hair.
He probably had a wig. I think he had a wig on in Little Shop.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know, like, his dark hair in Little Shop was, like, a wig. Like, he's just always had, like, gray hair in everything I've ever seen him in.
He rocks it.
He does. I mean, good for him.
And he does have an episode in The Muppet Show then, too, later on.
Yeah, so that's why he's in this.
He's also probably, like, one of the main people you'd recognize, even, like, in our generation.
Oh, of course, yeah. I know who Steve Martin is.
I know you haven't gone there yet, but for Godzilla in 1984, there was an Americanized version of that as well. And they actually did bring back Raymond Burr to reprise his role.
I think I saw that on, like, his Letterboxd page. Is like, he was in Rear Window, Airplane 2, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and, yeah, Godzilla 1984 or something. Or, like, The Return of Godzilla, yeah.
Yeah, the Americanized version, which that version of the movie has not been re-released on DVD or Blu-ray yet. And I don't know if it ever will, so you can only get that on VHS right now or a bootleg.
That's interesting. Like, even if I don't enjoy Godzilla King of the Monsters... Well, the original 56 version's on DVD, you said, right?
Yeah, because they release the 56 version all the time.
Right.
Because that is still included in, like the Criterion set and everything as a bonus.
Okay, yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it, but as like a piece of film history, that's interesting. So,
yeah, because Raymond Burr actually does have a lot of respect for the first movie in the series. So he actually he did the best he could for 85.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd have to watch those.
I haven't yet actually seen that version. I've just seen the clips and everything on YouTube before because, again, they haven't released it.
Right.
They released 84 recently for like on Blu-ray, and that was like the first time we ever got 84 unedited in here.
Right.
But at the expense of the other version now isn't available.
Yeah.
We can't win.
Can't win with Godzilla, man.
I like how we talked over the date about Big Lizard.
Yeah. Speaking of not being able to win because of licensing and being treated by a giant corporation, the Muppets.
Ahoy! Actually, apparently there are some episodes of Muppet Show that aren't available in the UK yet, because I guess they still need to clear the music.
Yeah. Man. Just let me watch something without it being hard.
And here's Rolf.
Here's Rolf. Rolf was apparently one of Henson's like favorite characters to do. So like when he died, like people were very weirded out by like giving him a voice, which is why you don't often see him in like the Muppets like in the 90s and beyond for like a while. Like they were able to replace Kermit just fine. I mean, they kind of had to because it's Kermit.
Yeah.
But like Rolf, they were kind of weirded out with giving him a voice. In fact, so like he gets like he shows up in Muppet Treasure Island, but like he doesn't have any like speaking roles. Whereas like in Muppets from Space, he does get like he gets kind of a speaking role in Muppets from Space. It's like a scene where like they're at like the breakfast table and he just goes like rah. He just like lets out like a sigh or something like that, and like that's the extent of what they did.
I mean, his voice isn't that different than Waldorf though.
Yeah, it is. Which I feel like when he eventually does start talking in like the 2011 movie, like, you know, Bill Beretta, I think, does his voice. He does a pretty good job as Rolf, I thought.
I think
he's been with the Muppets for like a while, so.
I think one
I was just saying like Bill Beretta did a good job.
Yeah. I think one issue you have with like recasting the Muppets is that like it's not just a voice. Because you still have to like actually like know how to move the puppets and give them personality for their movements.
That's true too, yeah.
Because like even right here, like he's just playing a piano and Kermit's at the table, but even though they're still moving during it, it's not a static performance at all.
Yeah, I mean these are both voiced by Jim Henson, like these characters. Yeah. But like they're two different characters, like.
Yeah, and even just normally doing this, like it's not just Rolf singing while playing the piano. Like he's moving around the whole time during it. Kermit's moving around. Yeah. There's like actual performance there. Oh, it's not just a voice. You have to be able to do both.
Yeah.
And it's not even just a voice, because you still have to like, sing in that voice, too.
Exactly. There's so much that goes into puppets.
It's like there's a lot you gotta keep in mind. And like we were talking about like the mechanisms, like you also gotta keep in mind those. Like Fozzie can move his ears, so in addition to doing all that, you have to be able to like know when to like get the ears moving for the best effect.
Exactly. And then we never see Steve Martin again. Ever.
Yep.
He's erased from existence.
Man, oh no.
Doc Hopper, he's really good at tracking these people.
He's a good villain.
He is a great villain. Oh, so they're staying in a motel. Okay, so Fozzie, Gonzo, and all of them are probably in like a room or something.
Yeah.
He really wants Kermit's legs.
You know, Piggy could take Doc Hopper, though.
She could, yeah. Man, they got guns and everything.
I've probably mentioned this before, but like, there's actually on the Muppet fan wiki, there's an article just for guns.
It's there. That's awesome.
I just like looked like one day was like Muppet wiki guns.
That sounds about right.
In the main picture is a Swedish chef holding a gun from one of the episodes.
That's a profile picture waiting to happen.
And here's Mel
cameo
Brooks.
time. Director of Young Frankenstein.
Among many others.
Yeah. My favorite Mel Brooks movie is... I can't decide between Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, or Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is probably the one that most people know.
Yeah.
That's actually getting a 4K release soon from Kino Lorber.
Oh, thank God. So good. But yeah, I don't know. I can't decide between the three, but they're all fantastic comedies.
I actually saw History of the World Part 1 before I saw Monty Python. So whenever anyone brought up, when I was a kid, the Spanish Inquisition, that was the version I always thought of before the Monty Python sketch.
That's interesting, yeah. I probably saw History of the World Part 1 before Monty Python 2, but maybe because I probably remember Monty Python more, because like when I think Spanish Inquisition, I do think Monty Python, but
well,
I do
nowadays, I think the Monty Python one, just because that's what most people know and gets repeated the most.
Yeah, that's a good movie, History of the World Part 1. That's one of those Mel Brooks movies I don't think gets talked about as much, but it's actually pretty good.
I come with the Lord, but bearing these 10 commandments.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, man, Mel Brooks putting in his all for a cameo.
He probably has the longest cameo, to be fair.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It probably is.
Yeah, have you ever watched the trailer for the original Muppet movie?
I don't think I have.
I'm going to say probably not a great trailer because they basically take you through the entire movie in that trailer.
Yeah, a lot of early trailers like that.
They literally show the scene with Orson Welles at the end, and they show the final shot of the movie in that trailer.
It's like, come on, man. That's like that. Well, they did that with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer. It's like, and people criticize it for that. It's like, yeah, trailers back in the day didn't seem all that great. Like, I know, like, people like to criticize trailers now because they have, like, Inception bombs and they have, like, it feels like they're all made to seem the same, but it's like, at least some of them kind of, like, get you interested, where I feel like trailers back in the day are just like, here's this, here's that, go see it, or don't.
Well, it's like nowadays it's mostly just a matter of like, we're spotting the tropes, but like that doesn't mean they're bad just because clearly they work. I think the main criticism now of tropes today is that they make too many of them and show way too much of it after a while.
Yeah.
Because like if you just get like let's go to the Godzilla King of the Monsters. The first trailer was great, didn't tell you too much of the story, but like it got you interested. The second trailer I think was fine, but then once you get to like the third trailer and then on the TV spots, when you look at all of them together, it shows you way too much.
Yeah,
because if you watch all the trailers for that movie and the TV spots and everything, they basically show you the whole movie.
Yeah, I've never liked watching TV spots because it's like, what's the point? It's just like 30 seconds, and like it's just like telling me what I'm already gonna do. They're like, go see this movie. It's like, I already knew that by the first trailer. It's like.
But yeah, it's like we only need like 2 trailers in the movie. Once you get like all 3 of them, then that's too much because they actually do show every key scene within those 3 trailers.
Yeah, so that's definitely a valid criticism of modern trailers.
Like, which for GVK, like they only have one actual trailer, then it's just the TV spots. Which I only watched that very first one they did like a week later. I haven't watched any of the others since.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's like, okay, we are a month away from this thing.
Yeah.
And Miss Piggy is soloing everybody now.
You know, this scene kind of freaked me out as a kid. Just
oh my God, her eyes.
Purely because of Miss Piggy's eyes. Like, just seeing those eyes, like, just wide enough. And I know, like, I'm supposed to be cheering on, you know, because she's a main protagonist, fighting henchman goons. It's like, I should be excited by this point, but it's just like, oh, her eyes really freaked me out, even as a kid. Poor Mel Brooks. I guess in this universe they didn't make robots, so then he couldn't be Big Weld. Because now he's dead.
It's for you! You Kermit the Frog? Phone.
How did the agent know to call there? Wow. Halfway through the movie. Okay, bye. I'm out.
I mean, in real life.
Yeah.
Oh no, the mirror broke.
Yeah, imagine being in a theater and, like, seeing that for the first time and being like, what the hell? Got our Swedish chef.
And watch if it happens for real here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's ever happened to me. I've never been to a movie where, like, the film just craps out. And I hear stories about it all the time of people being like, yeah, I went to the movies and the film crapped out and nobody came for like 20 minutes. And it's like, I can't imagine sitting through that.
Oh, I imagine that probably happened more common back when they actually used film, but now everything's all digital. So the most you're going to have is like they play the wrong file or like there's no sound for like the first minute.
Yeah. But still, like, I've never been to that where, like, just somebody screws up the movie. It's like, you know, knock on wood.
We accidentally showed Hostel while during when Overhead was going to play.
Exactly. There's some really good shots in this movie for the Muppet movie. Like, look at this.
This is just to make the movie run longer.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course. You got to fill up that hour and a half runtime somehow. Have Fuzzy Bear sing America the Beautiful.
And now Rolf is just with them.
Yeah, just Rolf. They didn't even ask Rolf. He's just like, well, I'm here now.
Why don't we get the rest of the gang together with montage? And now they're just pissed and want him dead.
Yeah. We just want to kill this frog. Straight up murder him. That's dangerous. What do you mean a specialist? You've been doing pretty well finding where they are. It's like...
Yeah, but
they get away.
His goons are also terrible at firing. They miss every shot.
Exactly.
This dude's a fucking Speed Racer villain.
Wow. He uses his fork gun.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah. Wow, so that was kind of pointless. How many other pigs are there?
At least 7.
At least 7.
The Muppet movie.
That's the Muppet movie for you, an unbelievable coincidence. Yeah, 5 minutes ago. Whew, Kermit language. This is a kid's movie. Kermit, be a king. Be strong. Yeah. You go, Kermit. Oh. Okay. Well, we lost another one, boys.
Oh no, he's porking it.
He's a real simp. Frog burger.
Remember when you were allowed to just put hits out on the radio?
Yeah, that doesn't seem very legal. Although he is rich, so maybe he can get away with it.
Punishable by fine is just legal if you're rich.
Exactly. Oh no, their second car is broken. Yeah, someone's bound to come along in this vast desert.
I mean, considering how it's been so far.
Yeah, okay.
You know, if they just walked, they'd probably get there eventually.
If they just traveled by map.
If they just traveled by leg.
Rolf doesn't have any legs, so I guess he'd have a hard time getting
He
through.
can crawl.
He can crawl. I don't know, maybe if you hadn't been fucking around for a week, you probably could have made it. You know, moving right along. I love that song, but you were just driving all over the country.
They didn't know where they were going. Hey, should we in Canada? Holland's not Canada, right?
Here we go. Time for another song. So apparently, this song, I'll be going back there someday. I think that's what it's called. Was originally supposed to be like, you know, they used this as a template for what was originally supposed to be Muppets from Space, where Gonzo would like go back into space, you know, to find his family because, you know, he's an alien. And then it just turned into like a straight up comedy because that's what Muppets from Space is. And a lot of people are kind of annoyed by that, but I mean, if the end product was Muppets from Space, then I'm okay with it. It's a pretty good song. I think it gets better the older I get. I definitely wasn't a fan of it as a kid, just because it was just like it was a much slower song. But like now, it's a lot nicer. I like it.
Yeah.
Dave Goles, he's got a great singing voice as Gonzo. I mean, it's not an amazing voice, but for what it is, I think it works.
Ah, like invisible strings.
I get it.
I wonder what the reference is. Just imagine like Jim Henson, the gang, are just underneath that desert floor right now.
Exactly, yeah. They're all just like, oh man.
Rolf playing the harmonica.
Is there an instrument this man can't play? Nice song. It's a nice change of pace.
Trying to think what instrument he couldn't play.
It's more of a rhetorical question, but yeah, I guess you could probably figure something out. Ah,
yes, the electric triangle. Nobody can play the electric triangle.
Is that even a real instrument?
No, you would die.
Exactly. Okay, so that's the joke. All right. Kermit's reflection scene. Even as a kid, I kind of like this scene because like it's a very obvious metaphor. You know, Kermit's literally talking to himself. But I always liked it because like it's just showing like how far he's come. Like imagine just like how far he's come since the swamp, and he's just like, man, I can't keep going. I've ruined everything.
This also isn't the first time he's done a reflection like this, or the last. The other times they were more literal because he's just in a mirror.
Exactly, yeah.
Because there's the scene in the show where he's like talking with the robot TV host, and then in Most Wanted is with Constantine.
Exactly. I don't know. I like this scene because like it's really nice to just see Kermit just be like beating himself up, but then like he does come to the conclusion that like, you know, it really isn't his fault how they've gotten here. You know, I mean, they're not there just for him; they're there for themselves. Like they have dreams too.
There's the revelation right there.
Yeah. And we got the shooting star. No, I like. You know, I'll allow the shooting star. It's schmaltzy, but I think it's earned.
It fits the tone of the movie.
Exactly, which it does.
And here's the lads.
Exactly. I knew they'd come back. How did they find them? Oh, wait, no. I know the answer to that. Never mind.
Oh, they still have the script, right?
So does that mean that Doc Hopper's been reading the screenplay in order to find them? Then why did he go on the radio to tell them to turn himself in?
Nah, he's a white man in the South. He doesn't know how to read.
No, that's true. That's true. Hey, it was nighttime just a second ago.
All the records at the top of the van.
I know. I always found that funny. Are those real records? Are they their records, like Electric Mayhem songs?
I'd imagine. I mean, remasters are probably just real records that don't have anything pressed on them.
Probably. It's there for the aesthetic. Pulling over is easier done than said.
Oh no, it's the Terminator.
It's the T-1000.
Yes, you did.
He did. He was about to. Okay, Max. Sure.
Jeez, it's the fuzz.
Yes, you could. Theoretically, you could. I love that skeleton.
It's a nice skeleton.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that nice because it just tipped over.
It's not Skeleturtle, that's for sure.
No, it's not.
The greatest character in Godzilla. You saw versus Mothra, so you've seen Skeleturtle by this point.
Have I?
Yeah, when they first get to Infant Island, there's just Skeleturtle at the side.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah, that's what this new movie needs. Godzilla and Mothra.
I mean, we're kind of getting one soon.
We're kind of getting a kaiju, yeah.
And then here's just the way to get Honeydew and Beaker in.
You always gotta have Honeydew and Beaker in the movies. Actually, yeah, why a ghost town for your lab?
How do you think we became a ghost town?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's very random. I mean, it's very on brand for the Muppets, I guess.
It used to be very un-ghost town until the explosions happened.
That's true. What is an everyday use for an Instagrow pill?
Well, I can tell you, but this is a G-rated movie.
That's true. How do you grow a plum with a pill? Like, if it's a pill, you know, that's kind of implied that, like, you have to swallow it. But, like, plums don't eat stuff. Do you, like, sprinkle it on and, like, that causes the effect? Like, if you chopped up a pill and sprinkled it on yourself, would that mean your, like, hand would grow? I'm thinking too logistically about this.
Imagine you eat the Instagrow pill and your stomach gets bigger and nothing else.
Ooh, yeah. Ugh. It's high noon. Yeah, all right. Country roads take me home.
Cowboy Kermit.
Cowboy Kermit. This is my favorite Western, besides Back to the Future Part 3.
You know, they could easily do a Western Muppets movie.
I don't know why they haven't.
That'd be fun.
I guess because Westerns aren't really in at the moment. They should do a Muppet Western. I think that would really revitalize the Western genre. Because I'm a villain, plain and simple. And as we know, like, thousand frog leg chain is not the gift that keeps on giving. Ooh, Kermit with them facts. Ooh.
Nope.
Shot down. Shot down.
You just sign my paychecks, man. Your Rainbow Connection, the score there.
Nice. That's like the 5th time Kermit's stared death in the face in this movie.
They show that in the trailer, by the way.
Ah,
they just show the one they say kill him.
Man.
Anyway.
Here he comes.
It's him.
It's him. You know, that's another Muppet movie idea. A kaiju movie with animal.
Oh my god.
That could work. Like, give us the bad ending of the Muppet movie when, like, Animal doesn't shrink back down to size and they have to, like, stop him from destroying Los Angeles.
You call that the bad ending?
Well, I should rephrase. Another good ending.
I would say that the canon ending of Toy Story 4 is the Ducky Bunny ending.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same universe. Yay! We made it to Hollywood. The worst place. Hey, that's from the beginning. He's packaging a Blockbuster? I love that store. Then why'd you put an advertisement out?
Yeah, he's a good drummer. You said the same thing twice.
That's racist, lady.
Oh man, she's allergic to the frog hair.
Yeah, frog hair. Ugh. Yeah.
It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest, Lou Lord.
And now this poor woman's gonna die.
The Muppets commit murder.
Well, it worked. So
we
there
did
you go.
We beat the final boss.
Yeah. We've killed so many people just to get to this one spot.
We killed one person.
Yeah.
Which is more than enough.
More than enough.
Just walking, just pose of them walking. We are going to beat you to death.
Why isn't that a meme? Harvey Weinstein!
Oh no.
This is the bad ending. No, it's Mr. Kane himself. It's just that simple. You know, I saw this movie before I ever saw Citizen Kane. Before I even knew what Citizen Kane was, I saw this movie and I was like, that guy must be important.
He can see talent just by one look.
Yeah, he's just like, man, these people are gonna go somewhere. Yeah, he didn't even have to audition. He's just like, I came here for the audition, but he didn't even have to audition. He's just like, well, that's it. These people get contracts.
You just look and see that whole troop. They're like, we came from thousands of miles away. Like, they can't be lying.
Yeah, they can't be. They can't be. Another song.
The big finale.
Big finale. I did ignore my homework, but it's not because I wanted to be a movie star or anything. I like this song too. I think this is a good song. This is a good finale song.
Yeah.
The movie. What's Robin doing there? So, did they have all these props pre-made, or did they have to make them themselves?
I'd imagine the special effects guys did that.
Yeah. Man, they got it down right to the T. That's some dedication from the special effects guys. Kermit. Yeah, it really is Hollywood talk.
Fozzie Fowler's hat's always fun because he just looks like just a massive forehead.
He does, yeah.
And I was slowly working the rest of the Muppet cast.
Where did you come from?
I'd imagine he probably just already worked in the studio.
Probably. Honeydew died.
And now they're actually acting like the Muppets normally do.
Yeah. Ah, Scooter, come on. Wow, it looks just like the movie we just saw.
And you end the movie the way you began.
It's a loop.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Jar Jar's the key to all this.
Piggy is the key to all this.
Piggy is the key to all this. So Piggy was a Sith the whole time.
There is the Star Wars episode of The Muppet Show.
That's true, with Mark Hamill. And Luke Skywalker.
No, it's Luke Skywalker and his cousin Mark Hamill.
Right. Man, even in a simulated Hollywood set, Gonzo screws up.
You wouldn't have it any other way.
No, wouldn't want to have it any other way. Like, oh my god, Scooter just died. Like, look at, people are just falling from great heights. They're dying.
Scooter is dead.
Scooter is dead. Man, first day on the job and they already blow a
We're
hole
over
in the
budget
ceiling.
already.
Yeah. You people had one job.
Wait, it's okay. Now you get a better effect. Real
life. It's God. Taste the rainbow.
And I get the big shot with all the Muppets.
All the Muppets.
There's one of the
fact.
alligator puppets.
Yeah. Fun fact, one of the puppeteers is Tim Burton.
Oh, nice.
I don't know which one, but he's in there.
You get Big Bird at the end, too.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie itself.
Hey!
He made it!
He made it to Hollywood. Despite all the roadblocks, he finally made it. Wait, so does that mean he did star in the movie? So did they have to go back?
It was a stunt double.
It was a stunt double? It was a stunt Sweetums in the movie? But, like, that's the real Sweetums that they left behind?
He did some sweet stunts.
He did some sweet stunts. Creative consultant, Frank Oz.
Just all the special guest stars.
All the special guest stars. How many of them are still alive? Probably a couple of them, I'm sure.
A couple.
Yeah.
Will Brooks is still alive, right?
Yeah, he's he's got to be in his 90s.
Yeah, Steve Martin's still around.
Steve Martin's still around.
Yeah.
Some of you weren't even in the movie. That Spanish guy, the blue guy, he wasn't in the movie except for these scenes.
Yeah, you saw Link Hartfrob over there. He's right there.
Yeah. Dave Goelz is a Muppet designer. That's right. He did find Gonzo that one time and was just like, yep. Yeah, look at all these people.
It's also nice way to do the credits, just have something actually going on.
Yeah. They have all this extra footage. You gotta have something going on.
That's like with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood did it, where they had like the advertisements going the whole time for the credits, so they were watching the whole time.
Exactly. So, William, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
My two favorites are probably Moving Right Along and then this thing with Kermit and Rolf.
Yeah, I agree. I'd have to say my favorite would have to be Moving Right Along, and then the close second. Well, yeah, on a serious note, I'd probably say, like, Kermit's Reflection is probably one of my favorites. But, like, yeah, Moving Right Along is one of the best. I am home. I am in the comfort of my own home. Nice try, Muppet movie. Nice try.
Yep, dedicated in memory of Edgar Bergen.
Is that what it says? Yeah, there it is. So I was right.
And that's the Muppet movie.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed it. I did, because it's one of my all-time favorites from my childhood. It still holds up.
Yeah, I actually watched the first time last year, and it's a great movie, definitely worth the watch. And I just wanted to do a quick little commentary in honor of the Muppet Show finally coming to Disney Plus and being available for most people now for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking to you the past couple of months actually got me to watch most of the Muppet stuff in preparation as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So all the Muppet posts I've been making lately on Twitter, I can blame you for. It's okay.
It's my fault.
It's your fault.
That's okay. Next,
it was all part of your master plan.
All part of my master. No, my master plan is to get James to watch The Dark Crystal. Someday we'll get there.
Honestly, surprised he hasn't yet.
I mean, it used to be on Netflix, but now it's not. So.
I mean, I could literally just go over to his house and just give him the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Here, watch it.
Yeah.
William, there's just a copy of Streets of Fire in here. Shh.
Someday.
When pandemic over.
In
5 years.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else we need to be recording?
If you guys enjoyed this and want to do more, let us know. Have any movie recommendations? If you want us to get other people involved, obviously. I'm sure there's gonna be more in the future, and with the other people actually involved.
Yeah, I'd love to come back and do these.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let us know what you thought, and have a good night.
Yep. See ya.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.